Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Today's adventure starts off at the Santa Monica Pier as the recording of this Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. You can see the historic pier behind me. I am going to be covering a portion of the filming locations from one of my favorite comedies of all time, and probably, next to Vacation, my favorite Chevy Chase film ever, Fletch. Irwin M. Fletcher, you choose. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? Took me about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours to get here from Orange County. It's currently 10:30. Probably not possible. I mean, it would be, but it would take you from dusk till dawn, or from dawn till dusk, or one of those, to do all the locations in one day. So I'm just going to concentrate on the Santa Monica area, the vicinity, the greater Santa Monica region, if you will. I'm going to be meeting up with a friend who is going to be covering all the locations, and he said, hey, why don't you meet me out here and you can show the spots here, and then over time his video will release probably in a series of weeks and he will hit some of the other spots. But I just love this movie. I love Fletch. See if I can find Kurt over here somewhere, probably over by Fat Sam's, I'm guessing. I was not expecting you to be wearing that. That's amazing. You didn't even tell me you were gonna be in the outfit.
I like to give surprises.
That's amazing.
Thank you, sir.
So this is the little undercarriage underneath the pier that Gummy runs down when he is like being chased right through here. So like Fat Sam's Burger Place was over there, and underneath here is where Gummy was being chased through this section here, right underneath the pier. I don't think I've ever walked underneath here before. I'm gonna show a few of the screen grabs that I got here. So there he is, kind of running from them there. And if you kind of pan up, you can kind of get the same view, like hidden in the shadows here, the underbelly of the Santa Monica Pier, with the creaking of people walking above me. So there's Chevy coming around the corner. So they've kind of repurposed the parking lot. The parking lot is shifted just a little bit. I believe the beach itself and the path went up just a little farther into the parking area. Not too much, but enough to definitely make a difference. But that is the corner that Chevy kind of runs around, and then he ends up throwing the rock at the back of the vehicle, breaking the window. Now there used to be like a fencing here along, so it looks exactly the same. There used to be like a fencing that kind of went down like over on the side. So there's like a fence up against here where they throw them up against the side of the fence. That pigeon has a stick in its mouth right there. Hello, pigeon. You got a stick in your mouth. Now basically Sam's was right there. There's also a scene over here by this staircase, and then another one underneath the pier. So we're gonna walk underneath the pier as well. It was right over there where he's talking to Crease, I believe, isn't it? Oh, they've blocked off the fence there. You could have to go up or jump down it, I believe. Chevy, Irwin M. Fletcher, was right here talking to Crease over here in this corner. And you can kind of see down this angle of the pier behind them. Right about there is where they were both sitting, and then Chevy gets up, walks over to Sam's right over there, but it was right here in this very corner, still the same wooden dock that leads down. Bubba Gump's is there now. Used to be a different restaurant. Bubba Gump's came a little bit years later. It's interesting, they won't let you go up and walk up and down there. They got it all stanchioned off. But there is the view of it right there. They had a kind of a neat angle with the camera poking through a piece of chain link prop to get that section there. And when they drive off, after he smashes the back of the window, they drive towards Venice, because you can kind of see this doesn't look anything like it does now. It's completely open behind the chain link. It's not like that anymore. You don't really see this wooden section over here, but I kind of find that hard to believe that was added past 1985. Like that wooden, it almost looks like a ship, the theming here with the little windows like this. All right, let me properly introduce now these out of character. Kurt from 80s Life.
Hey!
So you're gonna do all the spots. Are you gonna go to Salt Lake?
Well, maybe.
All right, no
Let's
spoilers.
see.
Your video it'll be a while before your video comes out.
I think it's gonna be a while. I got a lot to cover. It's not gonna just be today.
So I'm just gonna do, with you, I'm gonna just do the greater Santa Monica area stuff.
Okay.
More or less. Later on his channel, 80s Life, is it the 80s Life?
It's just 80s Life, so youtube.com/80s Life.
You'll have a full detailed, with clips, you put your own spin on it,
You could say that, yeah.
So definitely go subscribe to his channel. Be ready for the Fletch 1985, one of my favorite Chevy films.
Me too.
One of your favorite Chevy films. And let's go see what we can find, which is your slogan.
Let's do it.
There goes the dog. Whose dog is that? I just used your catchphrase.
You did. Hey, shall we? Shall we?
There you go, nailed it. Where he was on the payphone was right here before he goes into the undercarriage here to when Gummy's over here. You can also see when they're pulling up, you can see the angle of the pier right over there when the officers are pulling up past that stop sign. Yeah, the road definitely looks a little bit different, but the one distinguishing factor is definitely the concrete work of the bridge itself is kind of going up on the pier. It's also tough to tell too because the doors have changed and the pole, the power pole is not there, and they paved over a lot of this. It's not just sand anymore. But it was more or less in this general area. Probably kind of like right about here. Are you thinking like right about there too?
I'm thinking it was just on the other side of this fence, but
like
it
right
actually
here?
needs to be a little bit further to the right.
Yeah, this is the spot right here. They were both sitting right there in the sand, right in that corner. I think we should walk that way and go under, see if we can go underneath the pier. I've never actually been underneath the pier.
You gotta try.
Let's do it. As long as it doesn't entail me dressing up as Little Bo Peep. This spot here where Chevy is walking, he matches up the buildings off in the distance. They've added some concrete pylons. They used to be all wood back in the 80s. These are concrete to give a little more structural stability. It appears as if he would have walked down this way and then right along the shore before meeting up with Stanwyck for the first time. Boyd Aviation. He's no dummy.
It could be a little further up.
Yeah, this is within a few feet of where we're at. Because there's feet down here. Footsteps. That was about the angle. It'd be neat to match up the exact poles, but that's going to be, it's going to be really difficult. And also the tide could have been lower or higher than where it is now too. I've never been underneath here before.
Me neither.
You've never been underneath there?
Nope, never. I've never even walked this far down towards the water on it.
It'd be really nice to match up something like this little wooden plank that's kind of diagonal right there. Again, there's been storms, years have passed, they had to put some more structural stability. The tide has a lot to do with it. But this is about the angle when they both walk off. And then they go to Stanwyck's place. Even though a lot of the wood does look like it could have been from the 80s. There's some old planks up there. Just about 1.5 miles away, still really close to the beach. Short commute over to the front section of Fletch's apartment. But there's a lot of stuff that happened in the alley and on the lanai. He doesn't like to discuss business on the lanai though. Yeah, if you take a look, that's where he's driving his car down. Palm trees look the same, and even take a look at that very unique building there, the little 2-story, or yeah, 2.5 story with the roof still down there. When he pulls up and then sees the guy's car he doesn't really want to talk to, so he goes around the back alley to get away from him. And let me just zoom in and show the house in the distance there. Still looks the same. Now that's when he sees the other guy's car there in front. And this actually is a residential spot. It's an apartment complex. El Cortez apartments. Not sure if they filmed the interiors in here. They definitely filmed the exteriors around the front and around the back. Big old squirrel right here. Peanut. Watch out, squirrel. You don't want any lawyers taking that peanut out of your mouth. You don't want your wages garnishing. Yeah, here's another photo later in the movie when he's like out front with his car door open and he goes in the front of the building so you get a better angle from a different perspective. Right about there. Can't get the exact angle because there's cars in the way, but you get the idea. He drives his car around here. The alley pretty much looks the same. There's been a few changes, but this is how it is. You kind of look this direction. Telephone poles all line up. Car garages all line up. They used to have dumpsters back then, but now they use plastic trash cans instead of dumpsters. As shown here, using this as the example from the movie itself. All right, we were just discussing, so my two favorite Chevy films, obviously Vacation and Fletch. What would be your two?
Well, Vacation is my all-time favorite movie of anything, yeah. So, but then as far as Chevy movies, Fletch is definitely a close number 2. But yeah, for me, Vacation is always number 1 for anything.
They're both pretty equal. I love Vacation, but I feel like Fletch is more Chevy than Clark Griswold was Chevy.
I can see that.
So yeah. I kind of feel like it was almost like he became that character. He also became Clark Griswold, but I think just by a little bit, I think I prefer Fletch a little bit more as Chevy playing it. But
I can see that, and I'm not mad at that. That, yeah, makes perfect sense.
But it's hard to be Vacation. It looks like the fire escape is right up here. Still there. It's like down here a ways. Do you like to discuss business on the lanai?
You got me off guard.
His apartment was on the 2nd floor.
Ooh, the screen is off the window.
That would have been it right up there. So he parked his car right along here, and he used, it was either a trash can or the dumpster. I think it was a trash can.
It was a trash can.
And he pulled it up and he was going to try to climb up that fire escape, and then he looked over, somewhere over in here, and he looked in the windows. Where were the windows? Oh, these are the windows.
They've just been...
Yeah, that's it. They've sealed them up. And he looks down in here and he sees all the officers in there. And then he hightails it. Positively no parking in the alley. But that right there would have been his fire escape right up there. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. In fact, the little water valve turn off switch on that pipe is still there as well. Right up top. And the screen's falling off of one of the windows. I wonder if anyone even lives there. If someone does live there, I don't think they realize that their screens have fallen off the windows.
And the doors have since been changed, and it would have been right here where he parks his car. And the way that you can tell is the front corner of his car is right in between these 2 windows down here.
You know, if you look at that, if you look at these 2 garage doors, even though the garage doors have changed, the dumpster was here. This little wooden box can be seen. This little electrical box, this little doorway. You can see that behind his head. So the pipe that he's gonna pull the trash can up to the ladder, they've added onto that pipe, but you can see the little placard there. But the pipe has been extended onto how it was. So you got that sign that says dry standpipe, but they have put it down the side of the wall when it was just kind of like open-ended, and Chevy was right there. That face. Same brick and everything. And of the 2 windows up there on the fire ledge, it was this one that he was standing in front of with the bars on it. The lawyer was standing in front of that one.
All the way over there.
Yeah, all right, we just realized we made a mistake. It's not those windows, it's these windows that he looks down and sees the cars in there that are trying to catch him. Because you can see that right up there, you can see that little kind of overhang from that other apartment. So it was right here. He's going to pick up the trash can. We both originally thought it was those, but thankfully we did a little investigating and found these. Still, they're both covered, but yeah. So you can see that little ledge of the other apartment behind him there. He's looking basically into there where the garage is for his apartment. Right there. And then there's that ledge. Yeah, if this gate was not there, you get a little bit of a better peek over here. So they had a camera that would have been from Fletch's perspective looking like that, which is that. That's cool. And they did in fact have all of those parked down there, because there they come like ramping up out of there. It's a very steep incline too to come speeding out down this alley. This is what it looks like 2023. Gosh, that movie, almost 38 year, the movie's 38 years old. So it would have been kind of an interesting stunt, because if you watch that clip, there were 2 cars that come ramping up out of there. Like, how did they get enough speed up out of there? They had to have been at the back, gone very, very fast, and then just like zoomed up, turned that way, and then it goes to a completely different area. Like, this doesn't even match up with that other B-roll shot that they have of the officers following them. Yeah. Now, if we could climb up there, we could definitely discuss some business on the lanai. I'm just going to run that joke into the ground. And gonna head over to the next spot, but before doing that, gonna drive through the Fletch alley. This is where he would have driven. All right, about a mile, 2 miles, mile or two, where we just were, is this little area here, which is the kitchen area. So he pulls up here after he sold the car, drops the other guy off, tells them they're going to be with him soon enough. Then he goes into the kitchen, the service entrance, grabs the tray, and then goes into a banquet for Fred the Dorfman. Right here. Not a lot of clues about this location. It's just this one screen moment when the cars pass by, and then he pulls a sports car right in there, and you can see the service entrance there, the door's open, and you can see the dumpster over there. The building's been repainted, but this is the spot. It's just 1 block away from the beach. Same brick wall over there is there too. Yeah, and I gotta give big credit to Kurt for figuring this one out. How did you discover this? Was that just street view and everything?
Okay, so we were actually trying to find, there's a scene where the cop car turns onto a street from Wilshire.
Right.
So we were down here driving around up and down Wilshire. We got to this intersection, and we know there's a building back there you can't really see because of the tree. We noticed that looked like it, but the building on the corner had been changed. So I turned onto this street just to pull over and like look at some screenshots.
And you were like, whoa.
I saw the awning.
The awning's the giveaway.
I snapped. I'm like,
this is it!
This is it! And I pulled up those screenshots and everything here matched up. And
that's awesome.
I couldn't have been happier.
Now the service door is open. That's the one he walked in, grabbed the tray.
That's it.
But the awning is definitely the giveaway in that little alcove over there.
That was how I knew, the awning.
Yeah, they're speeding along this. There's just one brief moment when the one car spins out in the road that you can see the staircase there as well. There's the staircase right there, over to the side.
Oh, it's a little bit further and then you see the meter.
Yeah, the parking meter across the way, you can see it too for a brief moment. Right there is the parking meter, and the tree has grown up considerably. But that's when Fletch is looking back out of the service door over there, as shown here. This spot like kind of blows my mind, honestly.
Me too.
So there's the kitchen right in there. Take a look at that. That is, so he walks in there, grabs a tray. It's like the office was over there, is like gone. There was like some glass windows on the office that he passes by. But you can even see some of the kitchen stuff right inside of there. All right, so we thought about walking in, but there's cameras everywhere and there are signs saying do not go in that entrance. And since we're not employees in there, we're gonna go ask, but they have a coffee shop in here. So maybe we could just go get a cup of coffee and utilize that to get in and see if what it looks like inside. We're not going to get in the kitchen, but maybe we can get in the main room.
I think coffee would be a good excuse for getting in there.
All right, so we're just kind of wandering around. I ended up getting Dogtown, which is based in Santa Monica. Dogtown, the Z-Boys, the skateboarding. I don't think that clock is right. Is it really noon? No, that clock's not working. That clock's not working. But one of these, this is the Starlight Ballroom. There's a few different ballrooms, and we peeked into one that's been remodeled where the dinner scene was. But it was one of the few that were around. Was there three different ones?
Probably more.
Probably more than 3. All right, we ended up asking, and they let us go into one of the ballrooms that was the Fred the Dorfman ballroom, and the giveaway was the chandeliers. Now they have repurposed the room, but the doors match up. Even one of the fire extinguishers matched up as well. But they have redone the partitions and the walls themselves, but same size windows. We're not allowed to go in the kitchen. We asked about that. They said no, but we were allowed to peek into one of the many different ballrooms and get a view of where the diner scene happened. How freaking cool. And we also asked and showed part of the film, some of the employees. They said we could not go in the kitchen, but they did say that it was in fact the kitchen inside this, behind the ballroom, that was used in the film. They said it looked very, very familiar. So according to them here, it was right inside here. All right, about a 10-minute commute from where we just were to this residential neighborhood. Now the racquetball club from the film is actually the Riviera Country Club, which is very, very strict to members only. However, I did a little recon a few years ago on Street View and discovered you should be able to peek in to this angle here, which is where her bungalow was. The meal was charged to the Underhills. So after looking at satellite view a while back, I kind of studied this pretty closely. So you'll see the tennis courts are over there, and then you see over Chevy's shoulder this extreme steep hill, and then he walks up the side of these stairs. But I believe that they added a second floor onto this building here. But he walks up those stairs, and after looking at satellite view, it's the only building that even makes sense from this angle that he would have walked up to visit her little cabin. So I'm looking at the movie here. So he's walking up the stairs. You see the tennis courts over in the distance, and you see that really extreme hill that goes up to the side. But I believe the building has been repurposed since then. Okay, comparing the hill there on your phone and then the hill in the movie. It's the only thing on property that makes sense. And that is the same really steep hill. And he does walk up those stairs. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how much time, like just doing the street view and seeing that, doing this a couple years ago when I was kind of like planning on doing the spots eventually. This took like weeks to figure out that this little like alcove to look over that fence to see that hill, and then we're here for like 2 minutes.
Right, just to look over a fence.
Yeah. It's fun though.
It's a special thing.
All right, this is awesome. So this is a block away from where we just were. Now we're probably not gonna get the exact angle, but this shows the tennis courts right here. So where the blue dot is where we're standing now. And that's kind of the angle I showed from the distance. So where he swings the racket and hits the car as he's walking in, that's the parking lot. So just a correlation, that was her bungalow that has now been repurposed into a 2-story. Over here on Jonesboro is where we parked and we're looking through the fence, and there is that steep hill right there. But that is the parking lot that he swings the racket, hits the back of the car, and we're standing over here. And again, it's a very, very private club and can't get in there, but just trying to kind of showcase what it looks like from an accessible public view. All right, we came around to the main entrance and couldn't get in. So because it's at the top of a hill, we're gonna go up and see if we can view the way down from the top of the hill at the tennis courts. Match some stuff up. Yeah, this is about as best as we can do. They're not letting anybody in that's not a member. There are the tennis courts. Exclusive membership only. And I believe that green building in the middle there is a remodeled version of like the little dining area of the restaurant where he was charging everything to the Underhills. They'll have a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich. All right, we decided to head over to Highland Park to a couple other spots, one of which has never been shown before. Look at LA traffic. 5 p.m. arrival, it is 3:21 right now, an hour and a half to go 27 miles. What a challenge. About 6 months ago or so, someone alerted me to the fact that Chevy was selling parts of his original script from when they were filming it. It comes with a certificate of authenticity, and he was selling a random page out of that script. It was the one he had on set. And I ended up getting the page that was used in the scene in the bungalow. When he shows up to the bungalow and he realized that he ad-libbed the "can I borrow your towel? A car just hit a water buffalo." That's not on the script page. But I do have that I purchased. And they went pretty quick, so I was glad I was able to get part of his actual script. He took a page out and signed it. Not really sure why he was selling them. Maybe he needed the money. Seems like a pretty sentimental piece of Chevy Chase history, but I ended up purchasing one of the pages. I also got a photo with Chevy a few months after this, which was a few months ago. I was wearing my Fletch shirt, as shown here. He was in front of the truckster. He kind of gave me the look, saw the Fletch shirt. I go, "Hey, I'm wearing the Fletch shirt." And he gave me the Chevy Chase eyes, those wide eyes. That was enough for me. That kind of made my day. He's Chevy Chase, and I'm not. Moving right along. It's taking a little longer than originally planned. Still got 16 miles to go. 16 miles, an hour and 3 minutes. Putting me there at 5:08. Love it. Los Angeles traffic. It's no joke. Yep, just moving right along. Kind of moving right along. Sorta. That side flowing a lot faster than the side I'm on. This is the second time I have been to this place. First time was not able to get in. I was here with Sean Clark. We were doing a Rob Zombie Halloween locations video, and it wasn't open. And today it closed at 3:30, and it's already like 5:30. So one day I'll go in there. I actually filmed a lot of different movies inside there. I don't even know the laundry list of films they use the cells for in there, but Fletch is one of them. Now that I'm looking at these windows here, there's two windows. You notice this type of window there has the like 6 individual slats of glass. And there's a palm tree right there, a very noticeable palm tree with dried leaves. Take a look at this. Window with 6 slats of glass and a palm tree out the window with dried leaves. Yeah, take a look at this. You can see when they're bringing him up, they're bringing him up the side of the stairs. So there's Chevy, and you notice the brick there They're going up the stairs to the second floor. This is inside, but it's kind of facing out. This is exactly the same on both sides, but it could have been through this side or the other side, but there is definitely that brick as they walk in and take them up those stairs and then up to the counter to take them to see the chief. So where the cells were, I don't know when I'm going to make it back here to be able to go in here, so you have to tune in to Kurt's video when he's going to have to come back, because his video is not going to be out for quite some time. He's putting together everything over the next series of weeks and maybe even longer than that. But right on the other side of that is where Chevy gets puts in the cell. Again, using a lot of movies, but it was around here, around the back here. It's amazing I've been here twice and still haven't been in. There's the scene. So the chief's office and the cells are in the same area. Hey, Tommy Lasorda. Yeah. I hate Tommy Lasorda. And he smashes Tommy Lasorda's photo. Hey, we're over here on the corner of Avenue 51 and York, where part of the car chase scene took place. A lot of it also took place over in Long Beach. Most of it did. But if you look across the street, there's a place called Don's Auto Repair that you can see in the chase scene. And it just so happens that one of the kind of most elusive spots that, you know, as the recording of this has not ever been posted online is the house. As the bus goes by. But the house where he goes upstairs and he's, you know, says that there's no tags on these mattresses is right up here. Yeah, so we'll walk over there in a second. And it just so happens when they speed past this corner, it still is a pizza place, a different pizza place, but it still is a pizza place. And look at the little manhole down below there too, as well. That's still there. So you got the little sewer hole there, and then you got the pizza place right over there, painted red now, but it has been a pizza place, or it is a pizza place now. It was in '85 and it is now. Yeah, there was a full-on extreme stunt right here with the two drivers that plowing into each other. Two drivers crashed right there, but it still is a Don's Auto Repair, even though the Union 76 sign has changed. It looks like Don's has taken that and put their sign in front of that as well. Right on the corner of York. That was an easy one because it does say York on the side. But a block away is the "she's not here." So you're saying she's not here. That house is right up the road. Classic truck alert going by. I'm always fascinated by stunts. When you watch them, you don't put too much thought into it. But they come around the corner, they just barely miss the one automobile, and the other one just careens into the car right there. Now, about a year ago, maybe even longer than that, I was kind of like trying to figure out where the scene was, where he pulls up and he kind of is snooping around in the house. And they say it's in Salt Lake City, but when I looked at this angle, I was like, that looks more like LA. So I went on Street View, a lot of time on Street View, and I just kept going around different areas of LA, and I finally found this corner, and I found the house. And it's 1 block away from where I just was. And the house is still here, looks the same. All right, the guy that lives here said his uncle knows that the movie was filmed here. He knows that they did film it. This is the house right here on the corner. And they did in fact film inside the kitchen and upstairs in the room. When he comes up and he's like, "She's not here." So you're saying she's not here. Well, I commend him on his choice. This is the house, not in Salt Lake City. He goes into the mailbox, it's up on the porch, looks at the mail, and realizes that she's not there. And he didn't realize that it had a caretaker watching over it, that he was not budging. The caretaker was not budging. Yeah, if you look at the front, so they've added a window in the front there. So another door. So there wasn't a door there, but they've added the door, and the address is different. It was 410 in the movie. Huh? Yeah, it's 410, and it's 5057 in real life. Yeah, pretty cool. Hey, you gotta watch the movie, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it.
At least the scene where he goes upstairs and in the kitchen. It's amazing to see this tree and how much it has grown over almost 4 decades right here. Yeah, I was showing him some of the clips. Said his uncle has seen the movie, and knew that they filmed something here, but the guy I'm talking to, who also lives here, has never seen it, but I was showing him clips of the kitchen, and I asked him about the part when Chevy gets his head stuck in the light, and he goes, oh, those lights aren't in there anymore. But it was on the top floor when the guy comes up and he's like, she's not here. She's not here. So you're saying she's not here. This tree is amazing though. I mean, it's just still there. Same tree. And here is what it looked like. See the tree over to the side? And it was the upstairs room. He went up and he was, he said he was the mattress inspector. All right, that's pretty wild. That is the, I think that is the same exact mailbox right there. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So I said we could come up and just take a look at the mailbox right there. Look at that. That is the same freaking mailbox. There it is right there. The mail, screen used mailbox, still on the side of the house almost 4 decades later. And obviously we're not gonna go in their house, so it wasn't cool, but they let us go up on the porch for it. Definitely a big thanks to the people who own this house, the people who live here. Very, very cool. Very next level, very cool. We're sitting on the porch, on the stairs, watching clips, showing them clips. They let us on the porch. It just very friendly folks. So big thanks to homeowners who are cool. And this is it. So this was a tough one to find. This was definitely a tough one to find. I found it about 1.5 years ago by going down street. I should talk to Kurt and how he figured it out as well. Because I mentioned, he goes, oh, that house is in Salt Lake. And we were talking about this 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. And I go, oh, no, it's in the greater LA area. And then when he was looking up the car chase, he figured out where this was too. And he goes, holy cow, it's not in Salt Lake. It's in greater Los Angeles area.
You want to know for your video.
Oh, you got some more information?
Well, it's, I mean, you might have already noticed it. It might not be anything.
Oh, give me a secret. Give me a secret. And I wanted to ask you how you found this house too, because I think as of now, as of right now at this moment, this is nowhere online posted. That is probably going to change now that we put this out there, but it is exciting to find something that is not.
So you found it first, and we both found it on our own, but it was you who tipped me off to the fact that it's not in Utah.
Right.
Otherwise, I might have just thought that it was in Utah.
You were scouring the Utah.
So I found it because right here on the corner is part of the chase scene when they're driving in the stolen car, and I found that first. Then when I was looking for this house, I recognized the area and kind of went back and started going up and down the street, and we found it. But I was going to point out to you, when he pulls up, I was going to point out to you, when he pulls up, he parks right in front of the house, and he's looking out his window like he's parked directly in front. But behind him, you don't see the parking lot. It's actually this house right over here.
Oh, no way.
So they do a little bit of, he's supposedly right there.
Okay, you know what? Because I was just telling the homeowner that they tore down the houses across the street.
Oh.
Really? So it's these houses.
Yeah.
Those might be the houses too that they show when he looks out the window. All right, another mystery solved. That is so wild. There must not have been anything across the street from the house. So they're like, that doesn't look right, an empty parking lot.
Right.
Let's just put it right here next to that one. So as this car goes by, you can see that that is the house. So Irwin M. Fletcher pulls up right here. But in fact, the house is down there. Movie magic. Movie magic. Kurt was also pointing out that part of the chase scene was right over here too, on this corner. So in fact, they filmed the chase down this road, Avenue 51. They go down this way, they pass the pizza place, and then they turn in front of the, I can't remember the name of the place, we were just there.
Don's Auto Repair.
Don's Auto Repair. They turn this way, and all in the same area as the house later. So they must have just had permission to film on these 2 blocks.
And there's also a couple of other like really short scenes. This is Meridian. There's some other like where they're driving and the police cars are behind them. Just really quick, like them passing the houses. Those are on Meridian as well.
All right, this is like, I won't say this was like the holy grail of Fletch, but this was like when I realized this was here, I got really excited about something that's only in the movie for like 2 minutes.
But it's a great scene.
3 minutes. You ever have that when you do videos, you find something that you think no one's gonna care about, but you care about it?
Oh.
And you discover it, you do some recon, you figure it out?
Almost every video I do, there's something like that. And it's usually something that's not even as cool as a house. It's like a mailbox or something, you know.
Speaking of mailboxes.
Yeah, that's probably why I said that.
I'm gonna end the video here, because we've kind of done enough for the day. Check out Kurt's video when he finally gets it uploaded, 80s life on YouTube. A lot of really good detailed stuff, mostly the 80s. I would say 95% of the stuff you do is the 80s.
Yeah, and then a little bit of the 90s as well.
So you're gonna be the 80s life and a little bit of 90s life.
Yeah.
Mixed in.
Yeah.
But check out his channel. Your video will be up at some point. My video will be up the next day, because that's kind of, his will be a lot more detailed, more locations. Check him out. And I'll see you in the next video. We found some Fletch stuff that has never been shown. The vlog.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It's over.
There's such a good
Nailed
house.
it.